All right, we are here and we are live. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. It's Top Rope Tokes. I'm just saying that guy over there.
Range of motions, baby.
And it's been an interesting night. Jeez,
Yeah,
why my eyes are... My left eye
I
is so irritated.
predicted you should probably just, just stick something in the right eye, just even it out.
Cry from both eyes.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, yeah, man. I predicted how many matches were wrong here today.
Oh, thanks for the reminder. I forgot to
I
update.
predicted at least two of the matches wrong, and usually at most I'll get one wrong a show. So, hey, surprises happened today. Yeah.
Yeah. I just had to go and update that change because there was something I did not expect to happen. Happened. And I
Oh
pre-typed it
yeah,
in.
that's right. That is very right. Man. Yeah, this was Dynamite 200 was a very surprising Dynamite. They had some surprises in there. There was a few good matches, but
Surprising,
mainly the surprises got
confusing.
me.
I just don't even know. So with that
There was a roller coaster of emotions tonight. Roller coaster.
that being said, let's hop into our good, the bad, and the ugly. What was your good from tonight's show?
My good is getting to see Sheeta hold that belt.
My good was initially just the fact, you know what? I'm going to take a slightly different route. The women's match was in the main event. After they've had so much crap on them lately for book the women's division better. Not that this helped necessarily book the women's division better, but they got the main event, so at least there was, it's better than a squash match. It was meaningful.
Yeah, now we know why it was main event.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's surprising. That's main event, but I'm down for it. And then I'm like, oh, that's why it was main event.
With that being said, what was your bad?
My bad is that AR Fox doesn't know how to be bad. Like he doesn't have a bad bone in his body, and you can tell. Like he just looked like every single little evil thing that he did, he looked like he wanted to say I'm sorry, even though it's all acting. He's like, I'm sorry. I know we didn't do that for real just now, but I'm sorry still. Like he just looks like way too nice of a guy to be one of the bad guys.
I know when they went to the video package of them going to the academy, and he was trying to act tough there and like a bad guy. He just looked so stiff and unnatural to be playing that role.
Yeah. It doesn't look like him. He just, I don't know, he just looks like somebody who you would want to be your friend, not somebody who would be like stabbing you in the back.
No,
He looks like that guy that's going to be your lifelong friend.
Well, he thought he was lifelong friends with Darby, but Darby didn't give him that phone call.
Yeah.
Didn't do many favors.
I liked that they explained why he turned on Darby there, because they didn't really give much explanation last week, so that was cool. But yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not Darby's job department to be able to recruit and get other people hired.
no, but it's a good reason for a heel turn, though.
I know. My bad, and this is gonna seem kind of weird, but it's because of the confusing aspect that we talked about. The main event, Sheeta won, became the new women's world champion in a match where you didn't expect it. You didn't have a major story built up to it. You have a main event. You have a spot coming up on a card over in Wembley in which it's going to be good. I mean, yes, Sheeta technically is a foreigner, but in Japan, I know Tony Storm isn't from there either, but at least she has roots there. Like, I just don't know I don't see anywhere for this to go. Like, usually you have a path, and there's nothing there, and I'm so confused. I'm happy, but I'm confused.
Well, I'll give you my thoughts on that when we get to the segment, because we'll have a little bit. I'm sure we'll have quite a bit to discuss
I
on that.
didn't even take any notes on it because we both thought that match was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, yeah. Like with Sheeta rarely ever being on AEW TV, you just immediately assume, okay, good match, but Tony retains.
Last time that she was in the main event, and last time the women's main evented Dynamite was when she had that crazy good match with Jamie back in the day.
Yeah,
which
that
they
match was
referenced.
incredible. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're just like, yo, Sheeta puts on the best matches, so put her on that, put that belt on her. I'm with it.
With all that being said, I know you're struggling to go your normal route, but did you come up with an ugly?
Oh yeah, because Jerry Lynn, for the short period of time that he was talking, was horrible. that was the worst bit of acting I have ever heard in my life. Goddamn Jerry Lynn, stay off TV.
It's funny because now that you say that, I forgot that. I was like, I knew some way I was going to be able to wiggle in both the women's stuff into the good and the bad. But I completely forgot I could have completely gone with RVD.
Yeah, that was almost my good. And then I was like, I'm giving it to Sheeta.
That being said, my ugly, my reaction when they made it official for MJF versus Adam Cole at Wembley, putting doubts in my mind about being able to see Adam Cole once again for going to All Out. And I swear, if y'all remember or saw my reaction when we missed him in Detroit.
Yeah, y'all. He was like I have fun with this, but he was like legit fighting back tears. Like all jokes aside, he was fighting back tears.
So it's
I was like, you got to do it, or I don't know what's gonna happen to AEW. You guys got to do it.
I will say part of it is like, for instance, when they were here last time and we realized it was not happening and you're like, you need a hug. Like, there's little things I'll do like for dramatic. Like, I do play up. I had somebody once tell me I was dramatic and I was like, what are you talking about tonight? Now I notice it. It's like I drop it. If I drop something, I might go, oh. But I swear, if it's another show and I do not get to see Adam Cole, I may boycott. I may just be like, I'm not spending the money again, because every time I do, I miss it.
So if you don't buy a ticket and it's just given to you, then
if Adam Cole is there, my faith will be restored.
That's what we'll do from now on. Let's see. You'll just be gifted a ticket, and then we'll see if Adam Cole's there.
Run it down just to. First time we went, the first Detroit show was just days after Forbidden Door when she got injured, so did not know until right before was not going to be there. Second show was All Out last year. He was obviously hurt long term. That one, okay. Detroit this year. The week before was when he had that stipulation with Jericho where he couldn't be in the building. So we didn't find out till the week before that he was not going to be there. And then you just kind of hope for wrestling shenanigans until we were most of the way through the show.
Yeah. Didn't they actually pop up on screen while we were there? saying that Adam Cole was banned from the building.
What happened when we were there was that's when Roddy challenged Jericho for the Anywhere Falls Count Anywhere match the next week.
Okay.
Because he was like, I'm not here, or Adam's not here, but I am. So how about next week we fight?
Okay. Yeah.
And then Adam Cole came back the week after. So literally, we were a show sandwiched in between the two Coles with Adam shows with Adam Cole.
It's all right, man. You know, All In's gonna be cool, and then All Out's gonna be cool, just not Cole.
Listen, if somehow we miss Adam Cole, but we get the return of Jamie Hayter, and we also get the RVD match, we'll think about it.
Yeah,
because every time we've gone, there's always been somebody new that we hadn't been able to react to before that we didn't expect. Like last time with the Hardys, like when the music hit, it was like, holy shit. RVD may get that same kind of feeling. Maybe.
I think so, because I did not know I was going to get goosebumps hearing the Hardys music in person. I was like, ah.
But to be fair, you know who will give me that reaction?
So hyped.
You want to know who will give me that reaction?
Jade Cargill.
If I do get to see Adam Cole, baby.
Maybe. Just maybe, man.
I don't want to be a grown man crying at a wrestling event. I don't want to be like the guy for when CM Punk came back. You know what?
It's okay. You're gonna be okay.
I feel like this is where a lot of what we're gonna want to talk about is. Let's just jump right to the main event.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It wasn't really anything beforehand or anything else to go into it. It was just the main event. Hikaru
Shida versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship.
I see. I'm still just flustered over the fact that I may not get Adam Cole.
Yeah, dude. So what did you? What were your actual thoughts on this match? Like,
so going into it, felt like it was the obvious. Going to be a good match, solid match, at least solid enough considering how much the Outcast will interfere. And yeah, well, the match was solid. I don't feel like it was anything special.
That was pretty much what I thought of it. As per usual, matches involving Outcasts can be great, but there's just too much interference and it ends up being just all right. But every time I see Shida, I'd remember how good she is. And I was saying that during this match to you. I remember I was like, man, like Sheeta's always gone so long that I forget how good she is when I see her again. And I'm like, oh man, Sheeta's the shit. Like, she's so good.
I wonder if we should have maybe thought more of it, because they were making a pretty big deal throughout the show about how she was a champion before, but it was during the pandemic era and it was such a shame and everything. They weren't just treating her like a former champion and like giving her that kind of respect. They were very much pointing out that she never got to be a champion in front of people.
Yeah, she never got the TV reign. So yeah, I guess we didn't pick up on those little hints there, but how do you expect somebody to do that when
she shows up once every 3 months?
Yeah, she's gone for 3 months at a time.
You want
twice a year at least.
You want to know something else that I didn't think about, but it kind of makes sense? She's pandemic champion, right?
Yeah.
Where are they Friday?
Yeah, they back in Daly's place.
So I don't know if they'll ever do anything on it, because it's an after Well, usually it's taped after Dynamite. There's things that we definitely saw tonight that makes sense that it couldn't be just something taped after Dynamite this week. So maybe she'll get to appear in some kind of way. I don't know. It's only an hour.
They did have quite a bit on it already. And I feel like, you know, it's her first reign on TV. You got to give her a little something. I mean, yeah, her English isn't great, but you'll figure out a way to give her some time.
Well, not only that, but we talk about her English, but at the same time, I remember in the very brief time that she was last consistently relevant before, like when they were first starting the homegrown versus outcast kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And Saraya first chose Tony, like she was in talking pieces like almost every single week for a bit there. And
yeah, that's what I mean. Her English is good enough. It's you know, it's not great. But it is good enough for her to have a segment. And they find some kind of way. Somebody will interrupt or something like that, just to help out a little bit.
And honestly, with what it is and on Rampage, and considering it's just like a celebration, you don't even have to interrupt it. She could just have like one of those quick things where she wants to go out there for a few minutes and say, like, along the lines of what I was saying, was like, hey, I get to start championship reign in front of people, and I'm so glad that the first time I get to show it off is right back here at home, kind of thing. It can be cheesy and quick.
I think I think her yay, I'm champion will be like a quick whooping of somebody's ass next week or something. I feel like she's gonna be that champion where she's just like, yeah, I'm a champion, now I'm whooping ass.
But the big reason I put this as like my bad thing tonight was just the roadmap of where to go leading into two different pay-per-view events.
Mm-hmm.
One at the end of this month and one the week after. Like, where do you go with this? Especially because for so long it seemed kind of obvious we should run a person from overseas, maybe a UK person or someone who has roots over there in Wembley.
Mm-hmm. So I actually have an idea that I don't like myself, but I feel like would work.
If it's someone that you say you don't like yourself, I have a feeling of where you're going with this.
You already know who I'm talking about, because I do not like watching Saraya at all, but
it does make sense.
But it makes perfect sense. Like, she gets the run back to avenge Tony at home. Like, I feel like if it is Saraya, then you keep the belt on Sheeta, though. But at the very least, that would be hype for Wembley. Wembley.
If that's the match, Saraya wins. Then it also makes sense because that means Sheeta could disappear again for 3 more months. All she has to do is give us 1 month.
No, don't do that.
The only saving grace would be if Jamie Hayter returns at the end of that match.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that could also be a thing, but it sounds like from what all the wrestling news people are saying is she's gone for a while, like nowhere near coming back.
I knew that they said that she was going to get cleared for it. I was just kind of hoping maybe she'll be far enough along that you can then kind of tell the story for like a few weeks to a month without her actually wrestling.
Yeah, because that would make for a huge moment to have her come back and be like, Saraya, bitch, you're mine.
And you don't book
when I'm cleared.
You don't. I mean, that's how Saraya started off. She got into it with Britt Baker for like a month before she revealed she was cleared.
Yeah.
But you don't book Wembley, an international pay-per-view, Wembley, big ass stadium, and don't prepare for major moments.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think the biggest match that they can do is Sheeta Saraya. Don't want to see it, but I have to admit to myself that that is definitely the biggest thing they can do.
Like being
Just
over there, I feel like the three biggest things that they could do in terms of making that crowd go crazy would be one, unfortunately, Saraya winning. If they can do it,
unfortunate.
especially if they can do a decent feud leading up to it. Two would be Jamie returning, even if she doesn't get physical right away. Three would be Bryan Danielson has an open challenge, which I'm not sure if his arm will be. There's no way his arm will be ready in time. And then Nigel McGuinness answers it.
Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, see, I don't even know about Nigel McGuinness, the wrestler. I only know about him in his few weeks of commentary for Collision,
Before,
or 2 months, I guess.
with Wembley being announced and Nigel being there, and before Danielson broke his arm, like there was kind of, I don't want to say bars, but little things said there where people got their hopes up that maybe it would be a thing. Think
Mhm.
of the old school Ring of Honor rivalries, like between Danielson, and then you'll hear him talk about Joe, or Joe with uh, Punk and all those things. McGuinness and Danielson are right there with it.
Yeah,
But Sheeta,
I'm
new
gonna say
AEW Women's Champion.
Sheeta's the champion. What I want, this is for me, is I want Jade to come back and immediately go for that belt. I don't care what if it doesn't make any sense. I need Jade back right now. Jade, interject. Your turn.
I think Jade would still get a pretty good reaction if that's her return. So I'd be all right with that, especially if Jamie is going to be out for quite a bit longer. If it's close,
Yeah.
you might be able to pull it off. But if it's going to be a while,
Yeah, it sounds like Jamie's gone for a while, but I hope that's not true, because my big moment for Wembley was having her win that belt back before I knew that her injury it seems to be a little bit more serious than I thought. So I was like, oh, it's just an arm thing. She can be back by Wembley. That's why I was like, Jeremy, do not worry about her losing the belt, because she's going to get it back at All In. And then I'm like, oh, maybe she's not going to be back at All In. And now with the belt on Sheeta, she's definitely not about to get it back at All In.
yeah.
Sheeta the champ, though. Sheeta the champ, though. Ooh, before we get off of the topic of this match slash Sheeta being champion, who are the heels in the women's division besides Nyla Rose?
And the
'Cause you
Outcast.
already know she already did the Nyla Rose thing last week. They were like, maybe that's how we should have known she was going to be the champion, because they already gave her Nyla Rose match. They were like, you're going to win, so we might as well just give you your Nyla Rose match now. And then,
So besides the Outcasts,
yeah,
you could bring back Athena. We haven't seen Serena Deeb in forever.
yeah.
Layla Gray has been gone since Jade's been gone, pretty much.
Mhm.
Um, I guess in a way, Taya now.
Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of the next heel.
In a JAS.
Yeah, who's about to lose the Sky Blue on Friday.
And geez, I just have one more, but it's slipping my mind now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think back to the Owen and who all fought in it. Who did Sky Blue beat first round?
A wrestler.
I guess the bunny would probably be a heel too.
Hmm.
But Triple H,
Yeah,
but I
I
think she
guess.
might be injured and out. So I guess Penelope then. We don't know where Julia is supposed to fall on the spectrum, but we know
She's a
she is
face.
not a heel.
She is definitely a face.
Even if the group itself
She's a
is,
face that's a part of a group that's intended to be a heel group, but they're not a heel group.
yeah, they're kind of like
They're
Queen,
just
and
like,
she's
you
face.
can't be a heel group just because you dress in black. Like, that doesn't make you heels. They're like, oh, we don't smile and we dress in black, so we're heels. Nah, you're just goths.
All right, so basically, Sheeta's gonna be one of those names, or two, before she faces Soraya.
Yeah, because it's gotta be Saraya, and like, or Tony gets the run back, but I don't really want that. I would rather, honestly, because of just for the hype purposes, I would rather see the Saraya.
And you know the past was leading to her eventually. Might as well get it over with.
Yeah, yeah, had to. Um, but yeah, there's just like the women's division has the opposite problem of the men's division. Like, the men's division has too many heels. Women have no heels besides the Outcast and now Taya.
And even then, the heels that the men's division have aren't really all necessarily heels. Like Ricky's supposed to be heel, still gonna get love. MJF has fully made that switch now, but you get it.
I understand why you said that with a question mark at the end, because you can never trust the devil, as they say.
So like you have the ones, even when he is a heel, he's still getting face reactions. Versus then you have people like CM Punk.
Yeah, no matter how much of a face he wants to be, he's a heel. Because, come on now, there's just too much stuff surrounding him for him to be a face.
CM Punk is the epitome of the antidote about if what's that line about if you're a hero you end up becoming long enough to become the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is now John Cena.
Oh, if he starts coming out to CM Punk sucks chance, that'll be great.
I mean, he gets those chances.
CM sucks.
Oh,
CM suck. That's what people should change his name to. CM suck. Do it.
CM stands for con man.
Yeah, I like it. Shit. I mean, we've already talked about MJF a little bit. Feel like we might as well go into it.
All right. So I don't know how to feel about this whole thing because I still have like it's one of those rare things I don't. You can see it going either direction coming out of this. But MJF wants to speak. He comes down. He delivers.
His smile is so creepy. Like, I see why he likes being a heel, because when he smiles, he looks like he's gonna he looks like the kind of guy that's gonna overcharge you for something and not tell you. Like he works at the store and he's like, ha, 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 I just charged them extra.
Well, it's funny you say that because he gives a lot of the same heartfelt stories that he's told over and over and over again about him having ADD, that he got bullied, that people used to throw quarters at him and tell him pick it up, Jew boy. So for you to give that kind of thing, then he got bullied for being Jewish, makes sense. But there's big MJF chants, and that smile you're talking about, yeah, he just could not help it.
It's real creepy. Yeah. So he's such a good actor, but I don't know if I just didn't buy this. That maybe it's because he's all about, yeah, I had ADD. I'm like, bro, we all got mental health problems.
Isn't he? Doesn't he
Like
also
he's
say
making it sound like his are worse than everyone else's.
Isn't he also dyslexic, or was that somebody else that was?
He, I don't remember him saying anything about being dyslexic.
Not tonight, but someone else has been saying it. Yeah, he goes through all that and being bullied.
I'm like, okay, man, yeah. Childhood is not easy. I understand.
It got kind of convoluted. There's the part about not being able to necessarily control his reactions to like rejection and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's why he's so shitty. He's like, it's not because being a scumbag is easy,
I just
but being vulnerable is hard.
So you learn to stab everybody else in the back before he gets stabbed in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not afraid anymore because of the fans, because of all you people.
He's ready to be their scumbag.
I
And
love it. Oh,
this man
good.
gets so many things chanted, and not like quiet chants, but like whole arena chants that should never ever be chanted.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
you're our scumbag. Clap, clap,
you're
clap,
our
clap, clap.
scumbag. Hey, he's their scumbag.
He gives all the credit in the world to, well, to the fans and then to Adam Cole, because to the fans he says, you guys even show that you have sympathy for the devil. But then he gives a bunch of the credit to his new best friend, Adam Cole, and he welcomes out Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm. Like, come on out here, Adam Cole. And then it was funny to me. I had it in my notes when Adam Cole was talking. I was like, God, he is like figuratively sucking MJF's dick right now. Like he's going hard on that thing. And then MJF is like, as much as I love that you're giving me verbal fellatio right now. I was like, yeah, so I wasn't the only one that noticed that he was just out there like verbally deep throating.
And he follows it up by
MJF.
saying, see, I'm still a scumbag, I told you.
Yeah.
Adam Cole even kind of laughs to it, but Adam Cole was just in there talking about how he is proud of MJF and him becoming the man that he thought he could be, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then we get the heel swerve, not swerve.
Yeah. Yeah, he got me. I was like, this is a weird. I was like, this is the swerve. I was hoping, like I was like, because when MJF says you don't deserve a match, and he just stops there, I'm like, that's the swerve? Come on, it could have been better than that.
Like a kick to the dick and then say that.
Yeah, like that's what I was like. It could have been better than that. But everybody's confused. Adam Cole's confused. And he's like, no, you don't deserve just any match. You get the match. Main event at All In. To the dismay of Just Saying over here. They're going to main event All In. Well, I guess they didn't say it's the main event.
It's the main event, and you fucking
But
know
it is. Yeah.
It's the match at the historic blah blah blah, and he just hypes up the big match, and they're both all happy about it. Adam Cole quickly signs the contract. They're all happy, and during the show, as we watch it together, you just hear me audibly get mad and get this close to throwing my headset on my desk and just walking away.
Oh my gosh. And then you can hear me crying, laughing. Like if you guys were in the chat at that time, if I don't get Adam Cole, and then you just hear me like about to pee my pants because I'm laughing so hard in the background. It's great.
See, y'all missed out. After the last show, when we were informed the week before that we weren't getting Adam Cole and that he would be back the week, and then find out that he was going to be back the week after the Detroit show this year.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me a hug because he realizes like it's not happening. He's like, oh, gives me a hug there to show just to in a patronizing way, like a humorous kind of way.
Oh yeah.
And so after the show, we had meant to get back to the car, and I was going to have him record me being very, very frustrated while wearing an Adam Cole t-shirt. The fact that we missed him once again.
He got so many compliments on his Adam Cole t-shirt too.
You know, after All Out, if we do not get Adam Cole, we don't have a choice in the matter. I'm gonna have a full freaking breakdown, and you guys are just gonna be recording it and laughing at me the whole time, and I'm just gonna be sitting there like, why this torture?
I kind of wonder what's gonna happen here, because after they set that up, then they showed Roddy in the back still with his neck brace on, destroying the entire backstage area. And then Matt Taven and Mike Bennett walk up, and they basically just give him that, well, that sucks. And then they walk off. So what are we building here?
I feel like it's weird because you're not going to automatically throw Roderick Strong into world title picture. It makes no sense for him to align with MJF after everything he's doing.
Right.
But the whole point of this is he's getting pissed off at Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to get... Right.
What if there's a situation where I don't want to say a draw because we saw that already happen with them. But what if there's some kind of ending at All In for that match? Because maybe Saraya gets the main event. No, because they're going to be the main event. They have to be.
Yeah. There's no way. Yeah, I'm going to say there's no way you do that match again without it being the main event.
And you have to have can't end controversially if it's the main event. Because I was going to say, what if somehow it creates for a rematch at All Out, like saying like there must be a winner, blah 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 kind of deal. And then Roddy says, fuck you, Adam, and he turns on Adam Cole. Doesn't necessarily align with MJF, but now Adam Cole's a face, and he's in a feud with Roddy, even though they're best friends. I just have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I want to see how that's going to all play out, because I feel like you still need to have the world title involved somehow at All Out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If it was if they went to, let's say they did another draw at All In,
I'd be pissed.
I would too. That's why I don't think this makes any sense. But where you have an All Out rematch where there must be a winner, no DQ, blah 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 kind of situation. That's why I was saying like you could still have it, but it doesn't. Yeah. If they do another draw, I'd be fucking pissed too, especially on Wembley.
Because the first draw was cool because you did not expect that at all. But if we do that again, I'm going to be like, well, I was waiting for the draw to happen, and you guys just did it. So, boo. Like, I'm sure how they get there would be entertaining, but if it was a draw, I would be expecting it fully and not be into it as much.
Because whatever the match is going to be, think about it, you're going to have 1 week. And you're not going to wait till Rampage or Collision to set up that match and be a day before. You basically have that Dynamite to turn around and set up whatever that following match is going to be. Unless All Out is just the CM Punk world title and All In is the other world title.
Oh.
What if CM Punk doesn't do Wembley? No, because he's the first one to start talking about it.
Yeah, he started talking about it.
He has to.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with that.
I just pray to fucking God that Tony Khan knows what the hell he's going to do with that, because have a plan, because I don't see what it is or any semblance of one right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, we got one match on the All-In card, like 3 weeks away. It's okay. It's gonna come together. We just, I kind of like that we have no idea what's happening.
I do,
That's
but
good.
I don't.
Yeah. I just know I want to see Roddy take that stupid neck brace off. It has not been believable that he's wearing that neck brace this entire time. Like, this dude is traveling all over the country, even outside of the country, with a fucked up neck. I've never had a neck injury before, but anyone that I've ever known that had a neck injury, they don't move. They just sit in one spot and be miserable.
Speaking of people who can't move and seem kind of miserable, tonight we had the follow-up to last week's little segment with Jack Perry, in which he and Jerry Lynn got on the face with each other, and this week was supposed to be the fight. So we start off with Tony
I had
Schiavone.
no idea where you were going with that.
So we had Tony Schiavone in the ring. He brings out Jack Perry, who basically, for all intents and purposes, just basically, as soon as he gets on the fight, calls out Jerry Lynn to get his ass kicked, right?
Wanana. Jack Perry. Yeah, he just calls out Jerry Lynn right away. And Jerry comes out and like, he talks like he's reading off of a cue card.
Well,
He's
man,
like, I called in a friend that wrestled in ECW.
but he's old, he's beat up, and he can't move.
He used to be, but he is still wrestling.
He had bad eyes too.
He is my friend. And I'm like, is he reading cue cards? Because he sounds like he's reading cue cards.
Sammy Guevara was on the other side of the camera holding up signs. He just didn't
He's
see
like, and then say Ty's having a baby.
Now say these 3 words: Rob Van Dam.
Dog, I popped so hard for RVD, even though I knew it was gonna be him. That and the old the ECW theme. I did not think they were gonna get that song.
See, I don't mind it one bit. There was one song that he used in Impact that I really, really liked, but I don't think they could play. I can't remember if they could actually play it in AEW, because it may or may not just have the word fuck in the chorus. I know it either says effing or it says fucking.
Hey, either way, Rob Van Dam.
Because that song I'm talking about basically goes Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show. Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show. Repeatedly.
Oh. Yeah, see, I didn't know shit about TNA, but Rob Van Dam is about to wrestle on TV again. I'm convinced that it's 2001.
So this is one of the things I got excited for us, because you bring him in a month before a set of 2 different pay-per-views. I don't think he's coming in for one random match on television. I also don't think Jack Perry loses after he just gets that belt to lose it to a legend that disappears.
No. Like,
You might get Rob Van Dam at All Out. You might get Rob Van Dam at All Out.
yeah, that was my thinking immediately. I was like, if I get to see Rob Van Dam in person, y'all don't know how hyped middle school me, like late, I guess that would be, no, yeah, that would be middle school me. Because elementary me didn't know about Rob Van Dam, but middle school me would be so hyped.
Yeah, like late elementary school was basically like mid to late elementary school where the was the rise and fall of WCW for us.
Yeah, yeah. Middle school was like it was over already, basically. And that's when he was on TV. And yeah. So yeah, middle school me is gonna be so hyped if that were to happen. But ain't holding my breath.
Yeah. Rob goes down to the ring, Jack goes to run off, but eventually tries to sneak back in with the chair, but RVD is able to dodge it. Jack runs into the crowd away, using a small child as a shield.
I thought that was great. I'm like, all right, Jack, you're getting better at this. Like that was despicable. That was a very, very heel thing to do. He's like, you can't fuck me up. This little girl is right here. I mean, obviously, the whole family that was there was a plant, but you know.
I worked with Christian for so long. You don't think I know how to be a dastardly heel, little rat bastard.
Oh yeah, definitely. He learned from a king. That's for sure. God damn. But this is gonna be hype. Next week we get this match for the FT dub.
Later on.
And oh yeah, later on. Oh, well, yeah, that was the later on when he challenged for it.
He gets to talk with Renee. He says he's gonna win the FTW title. He's gonna elevate it, bring it some prestige, and then he's gonna retire it like he's done to more titles than anyone else in wrestling history. He even tells people go look it up.
Yeah. So this tells me one thing, and that is that everyone knows that the FTW belt needs to go away.
See, the weird thing is the way he elevates the title is by winning it and nobody being able to take it from him. Like, he held the ECW television title forever. If he just beats Jack Perry for it and it disappears, it's not really elevated, but at least it goes away.
I think that would be hilarious if he just beat him and then he's like, all right, I'm retiring. And so is the belt. And then it just like sends Jack Perry on this tirade after. I would love that. I would absolutely love it.
So I'm figuring Jack somehow cheats to win. They get to do a rematch. And we get at either All In or All Out. RVD wins it. And then they hands it to Taz as he's leaving out the arena.
Yep. Ooh. That's good. So it's got to be All In then. Because that would be like a big... Because I feel like that would be... If I were a legend like RVD, and I know that I should probably retire very soon, like, no, I don't know how good he still is in the ring or anything.
You want to be on that card.
Right, yeah. If you're gonna be done with your career, the best way to do it is in front of 80,000 people. So that's a good idea. I like it.
Why are you trying to take everything from All Out from us?
I'm not trying to take it from us, but I'm just saying that
freaking masochist over here wanting to hurt her own card.
Look, I don't know what they're gonna do with All Out, but everything that they've got going right now seems more like you should put it on All In. Because you want those big pops if you're gonna have that huge crowd. That's how you get them big pops.
It's how you get the people going.
Yeah. You know,
RVD, he's provocative. It's the people going.
Exactly.
Have
them go out there and do the splits. I wonder if he could probably do that still.
In my head, I'm still just like can't even imagine myself doing them. I'm just like, oh, the pain.
It's been a long time since I've done it last. I don't know if that's happening. Probably is, but I don't know.
All right.
I'm not doing it right now, that's for sure.
There's a few things out there. You know what? If we do a full-on vlog in like Chicago, and we actually think, because we'll have a third person and be like, hey man, if you see something fun happening, pull out your camera. Just even if you see us at like Sarcast having fun, just so that way, like, we have footage that I can use to make a video. But if we do, maybe we should have you bust out the splits. Like, we're in the hotel room and we're getting ready to leave to go see the pay-per-view. We just have you do like a Michael Jackson spin and drop into the splits. Yeah. Like, we're on our way all out. Woohoo!
I could do that. You just don't want to film me getting back up, is all.
I don't have to.
We could just cut it. Cut it right there. As soon as I get down, we cut it. Because it's going to take me a second to get back up.
We'll film it from underneath, so it's like the face transition
so it's just
this
my
way.
Balls dropping onto the ground.
It just goes black as you hit the splits, and we can cut into the next one.
Yeah, that's all. It's like when you're like the angle down, I'm like, so you want my balls on camera?
I didn't say do the splits naked.
I mean, all right. Well, my balls covered up is what's going to be on camera.
I'm sorry, man. We can use your phone to record that part.
I don't want to record my balls.
Right, that being said, there's a few things left. None of them are too super duper exciting. Where would you like to take this show next?
Let's do shit. Let's do Trent Mox Penta. Because I like that. That match was cool. Trent Beretta, John Moxley, Penta El Cero Miedo.
This guy had never seen the reference to Trent question mark before tonight.
I had no idea that there was the question mark after his name, because I saw someone sign and it just says Trent with the question mark, and I was like, see, even that person was like, why Trent? But either way, good ass match.
This was
good ass match.
One of two matches on tonight's card in which you really felt it was going to go one way, and no, the fuck it did not.
It did not at all. I loved that. So I really loved it because Penta got his shine in the beginning. You know how I feel about Penta. Like, if Penta's on TV, I'm happy. Yep. You already know. And he got a lot of shine in this match. He looked like he should have won this match because he was whooping both of their asses. Except for a few. Mox got his disgusting offense in, of course.
Penta's so good. Mox, you could tell he was still a heel because the man did not bleed.
Yeah. In a match with weapons, Mox didn't bleed. Therefore, he is definitely still a heel.
Trent, instead tonight, was the one who got really, really messed up, and early.
Yeah, he had blood on his forehead, on the back of his head, it looked like. I hope that was just like some that got rubbed onto the back of his head.
I know
that doesn't seem like a safe spot.
I know it was something that happened relatively early because it was before any of the table spots. I know early they fucked around with the trash can for a bit. I'm trying to think of what else maybe they might have used. Maybe didn't Mox have either a bat or a wood or something with barbed wire on it?
A spike 2x4. Or yeah, barbed wire 2x4.
Maybe that across the back
wrapped
also.
It around his face. So that could maybe have done it, because he had it like wrapped all the way around.
Because I do remember he was already bleeding pretty damn good before we started getting to the table spot, table spot, table spot.
That's because Mox is nasty. He's nasty. And I'm pretty sure Penta was bleeding, but you just couldn't see it.
Yeah. I still remember the last time we saw a Moxley match in which somebody bled out from underneath his mask, and it was a lot.
That was jarring. Just seeing the blood squirt out from under the mask. Oh,
Yeah.
it was like anime.
People who know, you scared us that day. I know at one point early on, what was it? I think Trent hit the superplex on Mox at the outside through tables, even though Trent was setting up to land on Penta, but Penta moved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, Penta was going to land on Trent, and Mox got to Penta before he did that, and then Mox. I can't remember what Mox was about to do, but it ended up with Trent hitting that superplex on Mox.
Right.
And I was like, oh,
but that's
a
the
table
thing.
spot to the outside, not involving Penta.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like, so if Trent was already on the turnbuckle to try to go through Penta, it had to be Trent to Mox. Trent was going to jump onto Penta on the outside.
No. Incorrect.
So
Trent was down. Penta was going to jump on Trent. Mox came from inside of the ring and grabbed Penta. And that's why Penta was not involved in that spot. And and I can't remember exactly what happened, but I guess Trent recovered while Mox was dealing with Penta.
Yeah, that all does not add up as a sequence of events. That's why I'm like, wait, that makes no sense. Because that means somebody was climbing the turnbuckle with nobody laying on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that's how it ended up being superplex there.
But then later in the ring, Penta hits a destroyer on Trent through a table from the turnbuckle. Does a step under on Mox, turnarounds at another table. Mox fucking launches himself with a shoulder tackle, sending Penta through a table like a missile.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Honestly, that looked rougher than most spears through a corner table that I've ever seen in my life.
Because like the spear, you can make it look vicious without even hardly touching someone, but the shoulder tackle, you got to make contact, because otherwise we're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Speaking of what the fucks, that's about when the thumbtacks came out. Damn it, Moxley.
You sick bastard. Sick bastard. And he proceeds to throw Penta into the thumbtacks. He took his shirt off first, and then he threw him into the thumbtacks multiple times.
Everyone hit these tacks 2 or 3 times at least.
Yeah, side note, Penta rarely is shirtless. I didn't know he was that buff.
I always find it weird when he doesn't have a shirt. I like his gear better with it, but I do remember a few of the random times in which he goes without it. Like, I know I've seen his like Joker gear where he just wears like the purple with the green like belt.
Yeah. Like I like his gear. I was just like, I didn't know you were that big. You don't, because he's smaller in height than most as well, so maybe that adds to it. And he's always got shirts on, and I'm just like, oh, you're kind of big. I didn't know you were that big, because he did not look that tiny next to those two, other than the fact that they're both a good 4 or 5 inches taller than that.
Not that you necessarily. There's some old matches with Penta like that you should definitely take a chance to watch, just because like the original All In and early AEW, the fans were so hot for everything with the Lucha Bros.
They should be. They should still be. I'm still hot for the Lucha Bros.
Zero Miedo
All day.
was basically just as loud as like Bebe kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, they're the shit, so I understand. I understand.
I had theorized that in this match, Trent was here to take a pin and maybe let Penta win, let them sneak another win over BCC in a sneaky fashion without Mox taking a pin.
My theory was that Mox was definitely winning this match because the Lucha Bros got their moment last time. And I was like, so it's probably not Penta because the Lucha Bros already got a win over BCC. But you never see, like, the best friends don't win on TV. They just don't.
And see, that's why
So,
I figured it'd be Penta, was because you could continue to build up that feud to kind of make it something for when you inevitably have like the bigger tag match pull off. Everything I thought was ass backwards.
yeah. I really liked the finish of that, where Moxley hits him. He's torturing poor Penta. Penta's getting paradigm shift into the tax. And then instead of him getting to go for the pin, Trent follows up with a knee to the face to Mox, and he takes the pin on his behalf. I loved that. Where Trent's like, nah, capitalized. Like he's that like wily veteran that found the opening. That was great.
Man.
And shocked me because the other two wouldn't have surprised me if they won.
It was such
Like,
a heel.
I would have been a little bit surprised if Penta won. But
it was such a heel move because I know this full well because I was that person playing video games. If we were a wrestling video game and it was like a 3-way or a fatal 4-way match, I was doing my best just to stay out of it the whole time, or I would go to the weapons, or if I was in danger and I'm about to lose, we're gonna fight outside nonstop until I can go back in, hit a quick finisher, and win. I was the heel. I was the cheeky tactics. I was the asshole.
Hey, Mox was the heel. Because he lost. And then he just was like, I'm going to put you in a sleeper, Trent. All the weapons in that ring. And he was like, I'm going to put you in a sleeper.
Well, I'm putting him to sleep. But then BCC comes out, but Chuck and Orange Cassidy intercept them in the crowd, and they all start brawling. Kind of was a little bit surprised that we didn't see Phoenix, and this didn't evolve into a 3-way group like brawl kind of deal. Considering how we talked about Lucha Bros had just snuck a win the other time, but they stayed out of it.
Yeah. I guess I am a little bit surprised, but I see what they're doing and I like what they're doing. Like immediately put the BCC in here with best friends. So what you're doing is you're going to elevate the best friends, because even though they've been there forever, they're kind of known now as guys that are going to come out there, look pretty good, and lose.
It went from Orange Cassidy was like the comedy side piece of the best friends to the best friends are background dancers for Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. So we're gonna elevate the best friends a little bit, and I like that because I think they definitely deserve a little bit more than what they got so far.
But after all the brawling, and they eventually get split up a little bit, best friends are able to grab a mic, and Chuck basically challenges them just 2-on-2. It sounds like Claudio and Mox versus Trent and Chuck in a parking lot brawl at Daly's place for Rampage.
Yeah. That's gonna be dope. Gonna be dope.
Which is how we figured out that Rampage this week cannot be taped, or at least not after Dynamite anyway, because of the fact that they were in Tampa. They were clearly not in Daly's place, but Daly's place for Rampage. So Rampage might be actually something worth trying to watch on time or close to it this week.
Oh shit. We're not going to be doing that.
What's that?
GC Dub.
I forgot to buy my ticket. Wait, no, you said you were only going to do SummerSlam.
Yeah, Ryan hooked me up.
All right, I'll have to grab a ticket then. Standing room only.
Yeah, get in there.
All right.
But yeah, after the show. Heck yeah. But yeah, Rampage. I'm definitely at least recording it, so I don't have to watch commercials.
It's not recorded every week, just only gets watched about half the time.
I know. I haven't. They were on fire with those Rampages for a minute, and then it kind of went flat. Because around the time Collision was about to come out, I was like, oh, Rampage is gonna suck from now on. And then they were like, nah, Rampage is about to be a dope show.
All right, so we got Jericho and Takeshita versus Sami, Danny.
Yeah, we do.
You got
Just start there.
the Elite versus the other trios, Vikingo and Aussie
He
Open.
still has to name all the options.
So the reason why I say that is, are there any of those that you feel like we should just like this? They beat this.
Yeah.
Or thoroughly go over both thoroughly. Or all.
Let's just talk. I have no idea, man. I can't give you an amount of time that's going to be talked about things. I mean, it helps that I didn't see all of Jericho, Takeshita, and Danny Sammy. But as I said, I always felt like this was going to be more about what happens after the match than anything.
A little bit about the during and a little bit about the after, with Jericho teaming up with Takeshita versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. The one thing that you would have missing the start of the show that matters is Jericho did not come out to his own music by himself. He came out with Takeshita and Don all together. It was still to his music and everything, but they all came out together. Just when the whole story is in terms about where does Jericho's allegiances lie, kind of matters.
Yeah. Did they have the Daddy Magic part at the beginning of the song still?
I do not recall that much.
Wow.
I just know it was not Don Callis' annoying entrance sound, and I don't even remember Judas being played, but they obviously came out to something.
Okay.
Wrestling. Early on, Chris Jericho was, they were getting into a little strike exchange, but Garcia, doing what Garcia's done a lot of lately, starts taking a strike, dancing back at him. Take another strike, dancing back at him. And the crowd is loving it.
That shit's hilarious. I don't... At first it got on my nerves, but then I was like, you know what? This is great. And the fact that he's just going to keep doing it in more ridiculous spots. Because when he did it at... what was that? Oh, Forbidden Door. Just no-selling Shibata and Saber's shots. I was loving it.
Going to sleep at the Ring of Honor show.
He's just
doing it.
Getting his one last pump out.
And then ultimately, the Orange Cassidy and the turnbuckle.
God. There's been so many moments with that. Like you hip thrusted a man's face so hard that you ripped your pants.
So at one point during this match, Dark House does reach out to trip up either Garcia or Saint Man. I do not remember which it was. And the commentary asked, "Did Jericho see it?" Jericho knows something happened, but he didn't really necessarily see it. And they're starting to question, is he gonna allow, as opposed to this being like a friendly, like teaching moment to his young proteges, is he gonna allow the cheating to happen, kind of thing? But he kind of just kept going. But he obviously could tell something happened. He didn't really love it, but there was like that hesitation.
Jericho tries to play it. I like when Jericho tries to play innocent. It makes for some good comedy for me in the end.
You want some
Especially
comedy?
considering that Jericho's facial expressions are so like cartoony.
So for the comedy's sake of things, I'll tell you at some point Takeshita did kind of mock Garcia and start to do like the dance and everything else, and the whole crowd started chanting, "You can't dance."
Poor Takeshita.
Yeah, forgot who else he had mocked when he did that, but yeah, definitely got the people going. What matters is there's eventually some kind of distraction, right? I don't even remember how it happened.
I was there for this now, and I don't remember how the distraction happened. But either way, the ref's not looking.
Garcia has Jericho in the start of the Dragon Slayer, which is basically just a sharpshooter at that point.
Yeah. He had him in the sharpshooter.
That's where he does.
Don just grabbed Jericho, that little baby Jericho bat.
Floyd.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it has a name.
I'll never forget the whole
calling it little Jericho bat.
Yeah, and every time you say it that way, I'm gonna think back to the whole him and Sting thing, where it's like clearly the baseball bats were not equal.
Sting's bat's bigger than yours. Oh man, but yeah, Don cheats, and Jericho is sitting there conflicted, or at least looking like he's conflicted. But it's Jericho; he's gonna take the win. You already know it.
Yeah. Garcia's out cold after being hit by a baseball bat in the head.
Yeah,
because
Jericho gets that pin.
He hesitated for a while.
He did. That's why I thought Garcia was gonna kick out, because it took him so long. And I was like, "Oh, this match isn't over yet." Okay.
Like this was Triple H taking 30 seconds to pin Booker T after the pedigree long.
Yeah, that was it took too long there, but whatever.
Oh no, I just mean it was bad in this situation. That's all.
It wasn't that bad. It was, I guess it was more for the drama. So that way you can get a couple of back and forth shots of Jericho's face and then Don's face. And then Jericho's just being like, "Well, I guess I'll just take this pin because I'm Jericho and I like to win."
Oh, I don't mean like bad, like as in it was like terribly bad. I just mean like the amount of time was noticeable for sure. After the commercial, Daddy Magic gets to approach Chris Jericho, and what's he tell him?
Mandatory meeting next week.
Now you were like, please let this group finally be over and done. And then you get another thing for next week. And you're like, man, why?
Yeah, this better be like the final nail in the coffin of JAS, because JAS has been it's run its course. I'll be nice and I'll just say it has run its course. They have run it into the ground, and I am done with JAS.
So throughout time, there's always been like different people that stuck with Jericho. Like Sammy was in Inner Circle, he was in JAS. He Hager was in both. Is there anyone that makes a jump with him to work with Callis? I don't think so this time.
I don't think so. If anyone, Hager, but I don't even think he will.
And none after the
He gave
hat
up a
thing.
purple hat. Yeah, that hat's important, and he gave that up. He loved that hat.
Because I'm
The
just
only
trying to
thing
think.
that he's done that I liked.
Because I was just trying to think if it was going to be like Jericho, Takeshita, and like another surprise person, like maybe turning and attacking all JS. Because if not, you're still going to have, depending on if it's really mandatory, on the other side, you're going to have Sammy Garcia, Hager, Cool Hand, and Daddy Magic. They're not, if
Yeah.
it's like a death nail, those two are not taking out all five of them.
Yeah, something will go down. And that's why I am a little worried that this is not going to be resolved. And we're gonna get more JAS. This is gonna be like the feud to end the JAS is gonna take forever, probably, because everything with Jericho takes forever.
Honestly, this feels like more of a situation you could just let it go.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause that would be nice to me if they were just all like, "Hey, you're out. We're done with you. You
But
suck."
like it's him trying to recruit one or two of them over, and he kind of goes like down the line, like, "Man, I lost my first choice. Let's me go to the next." And then they're all like, "Nah."
Mhm. Yeah. And then he after all of them turned him down, he's like, "What kind of man would turn on his friends? What kind of man does that?"
Oh, if he approaches them all individually, then he could attack them all, and that makes sense. He makes him even more of a hypocrite as he does that.
See?
Um, I'm just because do you think Sammy and Danny are going to? Are they trying to treat them like a real team going forward? The way they've been working together lately, do you think they're going to run with them as a team for a while longer?
So I think they're both singles wrestlers, and I feel like it's kind of clear seeing them wrestle as a tag team.
So the only one that really makes sense if they were to feud would be to finally have Sammy and Jericho.
hmm Yeah, that's the match that you would have to get out of that. Like Sammy has always been his right hand man. So
Yeah.
the one that gets the match has got to be Sammy. So we end the feud or end this whole thing with. Does
See,
that mean
let
that
it be.
Sammy leads the faction now, and they just like name it something different?
It
It's
doesn't
not
have to
gonna
be
be
a
a
faction
URL.
anymore, but somebody has to have beef with Jericho after.
Right.
That way, if he's a babyface and he doesn't have a faction, it only helps the babyface side of things. See, this is where when we're talking about matches for All In versus All Out, this is the match. Sammy versus Jericho. You say slide that one to Wembley. That one could be
Mhm.
on Wembley because I don't care as much.
That will be okay. Yeah, you guys can have that. Let us have something at all out.
Adam
So,
Cole, baby. Um,
speaking of all out, I um, I hope that we get Kenny
I don't
for all
know
out.
who he'll be facing. Right now, they've been doing a lot of stuff as the Elite, so maybe it has something to do with what happened tonight. Hopefully not, because I want to be able to see Kenny in a match where he can thrive. We can actually see like a classic. But tonight we had the Elite with Kenny and the Young Bucks going up against Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Jay Lethal. And the 27 other people that get involved in all their matches. So they're as bad as the Outcasts.
Oh, yeah. This was... I had high hopes for this, and
I have no idea why.
You know, because I thought it was going to be a surprise, and I was like, man, watch, they're going to make Satnam look really good, and you know, I didn't think that it was going to be the most overbooked thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. I mean, when you had higher hopes for it, I did the math. I looked at one team and I was like, okay, yeah, 3 guys that we know we can, put good matches together. And I looked at the other side. I was like, Satnam Singh? No.
But there was the possibility of a one-winged angel on Satnam Singh. Man. That's exactly... I was like, if Kenny goes for that one-winged angel on Satnam Singh, like, I was about to pop so hard if he hit that.
You know how fruitless of an that wasn't gonna happen was how quickly they interrupted his attempt at doing it towards the end of the match. Because literally I have no notes about this before outside of the fact that everyone turned their backs on Matt Jackson when he tried to tag out of the ring when Satnam came in. Everyone else was like, nope, bye.
I mean, you don't want to get in there with that dude.
They dipped out faster than Samoa Joe having somebody fly through the air at him. Like, peace.
But hey, he went for that one-winged angel on Satnam, though. That was pretty good. Sanjay stopped him, probably for the sake of his back.
Yeah, how far did he even get into that?
He was still in like squat position.
I was trying to remember.
Satnam was off his feet.
Okay.
Yeah, he was definitely off his feet. But I'm gonna say he was probably like a couple feet off the ground already.
I remember.
That's why I was like, oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I called it.
I remember like he started it, but like he never got to the point of like extending to try to like stand up straight.
Yeah.
And hit him.
He didn't, and which was good because he was like straight forward. And I'm like, yeah, if you try to stand up straight with all that weight on your back, bruh, you're gonna be out again for another year.
Nah, man, he's like, I had all those operations done. I took all that time off so I can do this just one time.
It's like, I just want you guys to see me, one-winged angel, the biggest dude in wrestling.
Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, with him sitting on your shoulders, you can't reach his head. Like, even if he tries to curl down to make it easy for you, yeah. I don't know if you can grab his head to flip him.
That's true. Satnam Singh's torso is probably the size of most normal people. Like, their whole body. I don't know. Either way, that sparked the overbooked nonsense that I just had trouble keeping up with at the end. I was like, yeah, this is too much. Sanjay Dutt comes in to stop Kenny from hitting that one-winged angel on Satnam, saying, boo.
Because Karen
First time I did not want to see Sanjay do something.
Because Karen was over distracting the ref. Then we
Karen
get the
was distracting the ref. Then she gets sprayed by Brandon Cutler.
Oh yeah, Cutler first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Cutler gets involved. He sprays Karen Jarrett. She screams bloody murder. Then both the Hardys come down, and then they attack Sanjay.
Stun his pencil right off.
Stunned the pencil off. Stunned his pencil off. And then Hangman is on the other side of the ring, ready to buckshot Jeff Jarrett. I was like, oh my God, what is...
Because Jarrett has the guitar at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Jarrett's like, guitar time.
I got kind of excited at that moment. I was like,
I
am I
know.
going to see a guitar shot? Am I going
You
to
know
see
my
a
rule
guitar
about
shot?
Jeff Jarrett. If he's gonna be on my screen, there better be a guitar shot.
Two things: guitar shots and calling people flat nuts. That's all I need.
Yeah, yeah. Like, but yeah, he didn't get to do that. He just got buckshotted.
That's why he loses. He didn't get to do either of them.
Yeah. And then Kenny did a one-winged angel on Jay Lethal instead of Satnam Singh. I
Yeah,
wanted my Satnam one-winged angel.
hold on. After buckshot, yeah, because Jay Lethal had grabbed the
He
guitar
grabs the
after,
guitar.
got V
Yeah.
triggered and one wing angel. I was trying to remember. I was like, wait, how do we get from Jeff Jarrett again to that? I was like, oh yeah,
Yep.
so much in the last like 2 minutes of this
I
match.
know. That was like that whole last couple minutes. I was like, man, this is too much. Way too much.
The worst part is when you start to have that kind of stuff happening and there's way too much. That's when you start to go like, is Jeff Jarrett about to pin somebody? Is Jeff Jarrett actually about to pin somebody? When you have that much craziness and overbooking going on.
When Matt and Jeff came down, I knew the Elite were winning. I was like, oh my god! And then Hangman was he was just already there, basically.
Cowboy out of nowhere.
Cowboy out of nowhere. So many people involved in this, and it was all in the last 2 minutes.
Let's see. Whew. 5 people started off on one side, 3 on the other, so we had 8. 3 more showed up. 11 different people out there.
Yep. Too many people.
Did not know we were doing a battle royal again.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
After the match, because earlier in the night, TK had made an announcement kind of updating people on the status of Wembley Stadium and the big show coming up at the end of this month. Kenny grabs the mic after and he talks about people having big news and announcements and exciting things, all that good stuff. And not sure why Hangman had to be the one to make the announcement, I guess.
Because he's Hangman.
I mean, I guess it makes sense in a general sense. He's like the big future, I don't want to say future star, but the star moving forward.
Yeah.
Kenny's older,
etc. So yeah, Kenny's probably at the tail end of his career here, or at least at the tail end of top performing in his career.
But they announced they have re-signed. Well, they didn't announce it. They even acknowledged that it's already been reported that they have re-signed with AEW. They're not going anywhere. You'll see, this was episode 200 Dynamite. You'll see many more Dynamites, many more Rampages, and maybe someday. Where else?
On Collision.
Definitely said with a wink and a nudge.
Yep. Yeah, we know what that means. Like they're gonna save it for a bit, but eventually we're gonna get that Punk versus the Elite.
I wonder if it'll be Double or Nothing next year, just so that way they can argue they didn't want it at All Out because that's home field advantage for Punk. This isn't Chicago. It's Double or Nothing. We're in Vegas, baby.
Could be. Vegas. I don't know.
Last but not least, what's that?
No, I was just thinking. I'm like, I don't know. That would be yeah. It's just I'm just not even gonna try and think about it because it's gonna be a while down the road.
Are you trying to think of how to go with Double or Nothing, like how we thought about it this year?
I know. Yeah. I'm like, yep, nope. Just don't hurt your brain. You don't have a whole lot of cells left in there. Just don't hurt it.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to get through the rest of 2023 first.
Right.
Apparently, I have to go buy a GCW. Um, last but not least, there was a tag team Ring of Honor. Was this a tag team championship match for them?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes, the titles were on the line.
Aussie Open versus El Hijo del Vikingo and Commander.
Mm-hmm.
This was the foregone conclusion that actually was the foregone conclusion.
It was one hell of a match, though. Like, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly at all. It was my match of the night. Because Vikingo he does stuff that you've never seen before every single time you see him. And I mean, it was Commander doing the crazier stuff this time. But still, every time I see that guy, I see something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And wrestling's been around for a long ass time now. You don't see new stuff anymore. He does new stuff.
So we've seen Commander. I think the first time we probably saw him was GCW. I think he might have been on TV by then.
I think we saw him in GCW first.
As you said, Vikingo, like, so there's those two, and there's only like a few other people out there that just still can like kind of shock and awe. I will tell you one mistake that I feel about our trip last year to Chicago for All Out Weekend. Not trying to enjoy Aussie Open versus East West Express enough with Oliver and Nick Wayne, and the fact that they had like the tables after where Aussie Open was like out there for pictures and you could talk to them and stuff. Like, now that we've been to some shows, I'm like, man, I kind of wish I took the time to be like, no, let's stop over here. But it was a sauna in that building that night, man.
Yeah, it was hot. And like, I didn't, especially at that time, I didn't know a ton about indie wrestling yet.
Same.
And now that we've been to quite a few more shows, I'm like, shit.
Yeah. That's why it just sucks, because knowing that chances of us having those moments with certain people, those chances are gone unless we want to spend like $50 at like Starcast.
Won't do it. I love you guys, but I don't want to pay that much to meet any wrestler. Not never. Like, no, thank you. I don't care if you're my favorite wrestler. I'm still not about to pay that much money and wait in line. But anyways, this match
between two teams full of people that we know can wrestle their asses off.
Man. Yeah, Aussie Open works really well with smaller guys. Just that I found out real fast during this match. I was like, oh, yeah, they know exactly how to work with smaller guys. Because this was perfect for me. Like, there were so many spots. Commander with that tightrope with Fletcher. Like, he does the classic hold his hand while he's tightroping, and Fletcher hits him. Commander falls on the rope, holds himself up on the rope on his back. Yo. And I'd never seen that before. He held himself up on the rope. Fletcher comes in again and he just flips under the rope and pulls it down, and Fletcher flips over.
The double 450.
The double 450. Yeah, they did a double 450 on Mark. Commanders actually looked better than Vikings.
You had the Commander running off the shoulder. No. Commander running off of Vikingo, who's on the shoulder of Mark Davis to hit a destroyer on Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Davis had Vikingo in a fireman's carry, and he's like going towards the ropes, and Commander's like, I'm gonna jump off of Vikingo and hit a destroyer on Fletcher. Like, holy shit, man.
See, I'm so happy that we got Aussie Open signed. I'm just also disappointed the fact that they're in Ring of Honor. I want to
They
see
had to
them
showcase them a little bit,
regularly.
you know? I like that. I love that spot where the double tope, where Vikingo and Commander both go for a tope, and Davis and Fletcher catch both of them, and then they just run around and meet in the middle and smash them together. That's so good.
It's weird, Aussie Open, like, you have Davis who can do some of the strength stuff, right? Fletcher can do a lot of everything. And he's strong enough that with little people like this, he can pull off some of those strength things when he has that size differential. They're so good.
So good. That just everything about this match was so good. And then that little flurry that they got at the end. You know, you protect Vikingo, as you should.
He is a major world champion of another major organization around the world.
Right. So yeah, you protect him. He gets knocked out of the ring so Commander can eat the pin. You know, that's what Commander do.
I did not catch what the name of their double team finishing move is called, though. And I remember hearing it as it happened, but I knew it was not something that I caught, and I could just like write down like what.
Remember. Yeah, I can't remember. It's called the Aussie Open move.
It's definitely a move that is helped by that they were fighting smaller opponents.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Because it looked devastating. That, and I feel like Commander sells really well.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Your face is covered. So basically react with your body and just overdo it like all hell.
Yeah. And he does that really well. It's pretty good. It was really, really good.
Coriolis.
Coriolis, okay.
Coriolis. Coriolis? Something like that.
Coriolis? I don't know. Who knows?
I'll be happy to find out again when you put them on my TV more often and I can hear the name said.
Look, man, they won the Ring of Honor belts, so they're going to be on Ring of Honor TV, and I get the Lucha Bros back on TV again.
It's all right. Go have like the Kingdom win it from Aussie Open, stay in Ring of Honor, and then we can have Aussie Open join. And then if the third piece to that puzzle ever joins, and we can really have some faction wars and not just random showcase matches once or twice a year. Full Elite versus Yule United Empire.
That would be tight. That would be pretty tight. Yeah, I agree with you.
Although I'd be pissed if I was New Japan and I let AEW have the Will Ospreay Kenny match and then Ospreay leaves and joins. I would be so pissed if I was New Japan.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a strong feeling that their third match is going to be Wrestle Kingdom. Finish it at Wrestle Kingdom.
I also feel like it kind of hurts the whole story of Will Ospreay of you were supposed to be the next Kenny for New Japan, right?
Right.
Well, if you also leave for AEW, you were just following in Kenny's footsteps more.
Yeah. But it's time for him to get a bigger audience. It is way past time for him to get a bigger audience.
Oh, love every minute of having him on my TV. I just also understand like it kind of sucks the other way.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We never talked about Swerve and our AR Fox. I mean, I guess we kind of talked about it a little bit.
I mean, we covered almost the whole thing in it. We can knock it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's not a whole segment, but why not? Why not? Maybe not a whole segment. But the thing about that whole thing for me was just that AR Fox just doesn't look like a guy that's that's about to be a bad. Like, he looks like you should just go give him a hug.
What, man? You mean with his, his fitness hat like down low with a shadow over his eyes and his the bandana or whatever over his mouth and a shirt that says OG doesn't scream bad man to you?
Because I see, it's because the man that's underneath that, I can still picture what his face looks like, and he looks like a guy that's about to apologize for something that he didn't do wrong. Like, that's the face that he has. He has the face of someone that's going to say sorry, even though he didn't do anything wrong. Like, I don't know if that's just me, but like, he just looks too kind, just way too kind. But
They've
I don't,
spelled
I
it so
liked,
forced.
yeah. But either way, Swerve is so talented that he's gonna make it work. Like, I'm confident. Like, it's a little weird for AR right now, I think, but it's gonna work. Especially with them tying in the Nick Wayne and Darby. Like, like they all need to be together. I think that makes sense.
I'm okay with it. I just still don't have high hopes because every iteration of everything around Swerve just has felt lackluster at best, and you're expecting Swerve to lift everyone up around him, and it doesn't feel like they have that person that you see the high upside to with him
Mhm.
that kind of really gives the group strength. Like, and a lot of times in your big factions, you always go like, "This is the guy now, but this is the guy after," and you can kind of see a strength to it. It kind of feels it's like Swerve and QTV.
I, yeah. I think that's what they're trying to make AR Fox not be QTV, because let's just Brian Cage, just he has one dimension, and it is bodybuilder. Like, his character is bodybuilder, and that is it. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for the Mogul Embassy, to me. The only one that honestly really really works with Swerve is Prince Nana.
And honestly, as much as I hated those rampages and stuff that were like half Ring of Honor stuff with people we didn't care about, I kind of wish they had did a better job of building up Gates of Agony with
Sure.
Prince Nana, so that way there would be more legitimacy to this group now.
Yeah, it's but Swerve has like a right hand man now. They just got to work on that, because they're gonna have to be like, AR Fox, you got to look meaner. Change your eyes. Like, your eyes are too kind. Change them.
Yeah, Cage just needs to kind of disappear from the group, and you
I
can
think
keep
he's gonna
Gates of
be.
Agony, but you gotta find a way to make them matter in a big way.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah, like, let Brian Cage go off and be with Big Bill, but the other two I feel like will work better. But it's because they've been focusing on having Brian Cage with Swerve. I'm like, Brian Cage himself doesn't work with Swerve, but the other two, I think, do. But yeah, it's just because Brian Cage, yes, bodybuilding, haha, bodybuilder.
We haven't.
Like
I'm not sure when the last time we saw one of these was, and we saw one of these as a singles match recently, so hopefully not too soon. But when's the last time we had a tag team battle royal?
I feel like not that long ago.
A tag team one? because we had a Royal Rampage, but just somewhere.
AEW loves to do stuff like that. I mean, a while ago for them is probably like 3 months ago.
Not that I want to wait this long, but like that'd be a great way to kind of establish um Gates of Agony as like a very powerful tag team. Because I mean, we get to see it with Butcher and Blade because Butcher dominates, but that's usually in singles ones, like Royal Rampage and stuff like that.
Yeah, because right. That's what I was about to compare them to. As of right now, they're like the Brown, Butcher, and Blade. It's like, hey, these guys are the Butcher and Blade, but they're brown. So, yeah. But yeah, same kind of thing. They're not gonna show up and do anything spectacular. Not gonna win against anybody big, but they look intimidating.
Even for the bigger dude in the group, like neither of them are like small, but both of them can move, so it's not like they can't wrestle. So I don't know, find a way to make them more legitimate, build them up in some kind of fashion, and do it fast, because Swerve needs a legit group around him.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, he's got Prince Nana. Prince Nana is a legit group, okay?
You know what? AR Fox and Gates of Agony trios title down the line. Gates of Agony are somebody that can actually maybe match up. Like, most of the time, people can't match up with the Brody King of the House of Black, right?
Yep.
Gates of Agony kind of will.
Yeah. Ooh. So this, just because he's still fresh and people are going to cheer him and be happy about him still, I would not mind if Nick Wayne were to be like, to do like a, if you can't beat him, join him kind of thing. Because I think that would be really cool, because I love one of my favorite types of heel is that young little shit cocky type of character.
And Nick Wayne doesn't even have to like necessarily lose. He could just watch Swerve beat Darby over and over and over again and be like,
and he's like, nah.
If I want to go somewhere in this business, I'd rather be on that side.
Like, you guys showed up to my crib and bashed my head in with a picture of my dad. And then you whoop Darby's ass after. Yeah, I don't want to be. I'm going to just join you instead. Which I think that would be cool.
Just always have like tiny 18-year-old Nick Wayne talking shit, and then the Gates of Agony step in front of him. Like, you can't touch him. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, these are my boys right here. Yeah, like he'll be like that little brother that just bites off more than he can chew every time. Like, I think that would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they would turn Nick Wayne anytime soon.
And if he's still in the group, treat Brian Cage like the Meg Griffin of that group. Like, Nick Wayne is Stewie, and they just shit talk Brian Cage. Like, why are you even here?
Oh, I would love that. Meg. Like, when they started the fart noise one. Meg.
I just saw the meme again where it's Joe about to fall over a cliff of like a water drainage pipe. And he's like, Lois, grab me like I'm one of your children. Not Meg.
Yeah, we like that.
That being said, it is after midnight, and it's late. We're old, and that pretty much covers all of Dynamite. So
Absolutely all of it.
We'll see you all again next week. Now, on the other hand, you will see some shorts going up after this weekend, because 2 big wrestling events.
Yeah. We got GCW, something named after an Eminem song.
I think this
Because,
one is My Name Is.
okay. All right. Yeah, GCW, my name is, because if they come to Detroit, they have to name it after an Eminem song. Wish they wouldn't, but it's cool. And
They do it
dum
after
dum
other people's
dum.
stuff though, and elsewhere. And honestly, people in the right age range, I can't think of too many people that you can associate closer with Detroit than Eminem, especially on a mass audience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess he would be the most popular for sure. Because I don't know, there's like Big Sean and Royce the 5'9", but not on that same level of popularity. So yeah,
Now people might love them, but you're niching it more. And then you
yeah,
also have the fact that Eminem, the whole movie 8 Mile, that literally you go elsewhere in this country and you mention anything about Detroit, they're like, what's 8 Mile
yeah.
like?
There's uh, oh man, movies you guys set Detroit back so far. People are so afraid of Detroit.
I mean, there are aspects of that's true. There is that aspect of there is two very different sides right out there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they could have definitely showed more of the good side though, as opposed to making it just look bad.
yeah. Because yeah, you just go straight across the road and it's a completely different. Everything's different, but yeah. But anyways, we're doing that. GCW, my name is, and we're gonna watch Bianca Belair win back the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam.
Go Oscar.
I don't think Bianca's actually gonna win, but
She just held the title for
she's
so
always a
long.
winner in my heart. She always wins in my heart.
Cody versus Brock.
I
Roman
don't even
versus
want to see
Jay.
that. The
Listen,
one match that I'm truly excited for is Gunther and Drew McIntyre.
Logan Paul versus Ricochet. We're gonna see a buckshot
might be
lariat.
Yeah, we'll see a buckshot lariat.
Honestly, the one thing about Cody versus Brock that I'll be excited for is to be in the crowd, maybe do the whoa with Cody's entrance, but to be able to yell adrenaline in my soul, something, something, Cody Rhodes. Not even gonna try for the real words.
Oh, I love that one. I don't know. I'm not really excited for the 12 minutes of Seth Rollins entrance that we're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, you mentioned tonight that you saw Penta do one of his worst sling blades.
Mm-hmm.
That world title match is going to be full of bad sling blades.
It's well when you're used to seeing Penta's sling blade all the time, everyone else's sling blade looks terrible because his are usually perfect, and his today just wasn't perfect, and that's why I was like, oh, that's the worst one I've seen him do, because usually they're incredible, and that one was just all right.
Him doing it as a move is usually believable. Everybody else doing it, it looks like you jump past the person and you try to grab him by the hair and pull him down.
Yeah, he's gonna do it.
It is
Yeah, yeah. I don't even remember what else is on that card, but it's gonna be hype.
I think that's most of it because Trish versus Becky doesn't seem to be happening, and neither does Raquel versus
Oh,
Rhea.
Raquel Rhea. Yeah.
Now, the one thing I am hoping for that we from in the crowd, I hope that we can zoom in. And we'll have one of those moments where Gunther is about to chop somebody, and we can record it. And I just want you to be able to hear the chop so clearly, like from where we're at. I that's one that I'll be genuinely curious about. Be like, how does this chop sound from this far away?
Good question. We're gonna find out. I mean, they're gonna have it mic'd up, but I wanna hear it without the mic.
I'm a bit curious because the times that we've gone to AEW, the amount of mic'd up things has been incredibly different at times,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell even as they change it sometimes throughout the show.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. I'm just curious how it measures up with a Keith Lee smack, because like Keith Lee smacks is the loudest that I've heard in person.
And we were closer. But it's gonna be interesting because we've gone to major pay-per-view now, all out. SummerSlam at Ford Field's gonna be a whole different thing. And it's gonna be interesting to see. I can't wait.
Because I mean, Ford Field, that's like triple the seating of Little Caesars, which is bigger than the Now Arena. Twice as big as the Now Arena, I should say. So yeah, this is going to be a whole different level.
Going to SummerSlam and then all out is gonna feel crazy.
Yeah.
Massive, massive, massive. Smaller.
Right. I mean, All Out will be bigger than it was last year, but just because it'll be at the United Center, but still, Blood and Guts was huge at Little Caesars last year too.
United Center is still going to be more comparable to LCA than it is Ford Field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably about the same amount of seating.
Hockey, basketball, they tend to be what, about 20,000?
Somewhere in there. Yeah, some a little bit more, some a little less. Yeah. But all right, people.
Have yourselves a wonderful night. We will see you live next week. And don't forget to keep an eye out for fun, wonderful shorts from this weekend.
Yeah. Peace out, y'all.
Night.